Summer 2020. There's just been no shows out in summer 2020. Here are all the shows that have been out in spring 2020, and here are all the shows that have been out in summer 2020. It's crazy. There's been like no shows out in summer 2020. The few shows that are out, like some of them are good, but like I don't really particularly like a lot of them. I mean, like ReZero season 2 was pretty cool, and Uzaki-chan is pretty cool. The next season's gonna be coming up soon, right? We got some cool shows. We got Golden Kamuy season 3, which I'm really hyped about, and then we also got Danamachi season 3. That's also really cool, and we got Jujutsu Kaisen or whatever, and that looks pretty cool. And I think the next season is gonna be really cool, but there's just this period between two seasons where like no shows are coming out, right? Because like all the shows from this season have just like finished, and all the shows from the next season have yet to come out yet. So like, what do you do during that time? What I'd like to do is I just like look up random shows or like popular shows or like whatever, and like that's the time when I catch up on shows that aren't seasonal. I'll catch up on like older shows, right? I was looking at shows and I came across Seven Deadly Sins. It's a little show. I don't know if you've heard of it, but like, I watched it and I was like, whoa, this is really good. First episode is really good. I like it. I like everything about it. I want to watch more. But then once I got into it, like around episode 10-ish, and I've heard really good things about it. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna finish it, and I might watch. I'm definitely gonna watch at least season 2 because I've heard it's really good. But after that, I don't know, man. I've heard it kind of goes down after that, but like whatever. So I realized while watching it that like this is basically like every other show that takes place in like a fantasy genre, right? Like you got a main character who's like super powerful, or he's got like hidden talent. You got like the typical fantasy world with like a king or a kingdom of some sort, and then you got all the other side characters who are like helping the main character or something, and they have a goal of like defeating some evil bad guy at the end. And like there's swords and magic, and like it's so just like the same thing reused over and over again. And maybe it's just me because I've been watching those types of shows for so long, but like I just don't like it anymore. Like I wanted to watch something else. I wanted to watch something different, something real with like feeling and grit, something like yeah. So I was on Twitter and I was just like, oh bro, I got this problem, blah 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 blah, right? And so one of my friends was just like, yo, I got this anime you could watch. And I was just like, really, is it good? And he's just like, yeah, it's pretty good, you should watch it. This anime was so amazing. It blew my mind. It's phenomenal. You have to see it. It's called 91 Days, and oh my god, when I first watched the first episode, I was just blown away. Like, not only is it a beautiful anime and the sound design and screenplay and all that is just like accompanies it beautifully, but the story, like, oh my god, the story is just amazing, bro. So, what is this anime about, right? So, let me start. So, 91 Days starts off with a kid named Angelo, and he's having a friend over at a play date, but then it's getting late, so his friend leaves, and then he and his little sibling pretend to like hide because they know their dad's gonna come home and they want to surprise him. So they do that, but then when his dad comes home, there's a knock on the door, and they answer it, and it's the mafia. Oh yeah, by the way, the story takes place in like early 19th century America in like the Midwest. So there's like mafia, prohibition, there's like guns everywhere, Tommy guns, and like it's crazy. It's crazy. But so they're in the closet and they're watching what's happening, and then the mafia just kill his parents, and his little sibling runs out and they kill the little sibling too, and it's just like, what, bro, what? And then this kid, he's just like, he's going through a complete like mental breakdown, right? Because like who wouldn't, right? Obviously. But then he runs away and he escapes, and I'm just like, what? That's crazy. What is this show? I gotta keep watching it, right? So then it just skips to 7 years later, like obviously, because that's like a trope. 7 years later. And then so the kid Angelo, he meets his friend that was visiting him that day again, whose name is Cordio, right? And so Cordio apparently is just amazing at making like alcohol, right? So he's just making this basement like booze, and it's just so good apparently. And Angelo, who's going by a different name now, he just meets up with Cordio, and he's like, "Yo, we gotta sell this stuff. It's too good, right?" So then they go off and they start selling stuff, and they get involved in the mafia, and eventually like it becomes a story where he's like, "Oh, I'm getting involved in the mafia because I wanna kill the guys that killed my family," and then Cordio just tags along. It's like whatever, right? The show, it starts off as just like a revenge story, right? This kid, he witnessed his family get murdered, and now he wants to get revenge and kill the guys that killed his family, right? But it's more than that. Like, it starts off as that, but then you meet all these other characters, and they really express themselves, and especially with Angelo too, like you can see Angelo is so smart. Like, it's crazy how smart he is. His only goal in mind is to get revenge, and like you meet the other characters, and the other characters really just make this story good. You got there's this one guy, his name's Nero, and he's like he was there the day that Angelo's family got murdered. He was actually part of that, and he's part of the mafia too, and like he definitely he cares about his family's pride, okay? But the two of them end up becoming partners and friends, and they have to like work together, and it's really interesting to see both of them work together. And I think, and you, even though you know that this is one of the guys that killed his family, you start getting attached to him. The side characters as well really contribute to what the main characters are going through, and the interactions between everyone, it just makes the story really good. But really what happens is the characters, both the side characters and the main characters, they have to work together because the the mafia is in danger, right? But the story just becomes crazy, bro. It goes from a revenge story centered on Angelo getting revenge, and then it just incorporates all the complexities of all the different mafias and all these characters and their feelings and their thoughts and actions and how they have to deal with each other, and it's just crazy. And this is like a dark, not a dark anime, but like it clearly has these dark themes, but like then it just has these scenes of comedy. There's a lot of scenes of comedy, and they just feel so surreal because there's this nitty gritty atmosphere the whole time, and then you just throw in comedy into that, and it just feels like, what am I watching? Am I still watching the same show? The art in this show is beautiful. It takes place in the 20th century in the Midwest, right? But like the detailing is beautiful. Like every little bit, from like little text on like a steering wheel, and then the lighting coming through the windows, and the color palette is just these like dark cold colors, and it always like makes it seem like it's like dreary, and um, it's muted or something, and it's dark, and it just invokes the whole image and tone so well. The music coincides with every scene perfectly. The music represents the style of music that would have been used during that time. And during that time, music was changing. It was going from this like opera sheet music type stuff to more of a ragtime style. Ragtime is this piano music that has a syncopated melody, which means that it's got a bunch of rhythms being played together, and that was like a foundation in creating the jazz and blues music of the 20s and 30s. The opening is not actually jazz or blues, but it conveys this desperate, empty feeling, especially with Angelo after everything he's been through. The ED, it can be summarized as slow jazz, and it's a perfect thing to listen to after witnessing the crazy events that happen in the story. Music, it fits, it just fits, and it makes each scene that much better. The action, this show is full of action, and the gunfights are so done so well. They feel action packed and life or death, but at the same time strategic. Like you can see everyone's perspectives and what they're thinking and what their next move is, but it never lets you feel safe. You're always on your feet, like they could die at any second. Towards the climax of the story, things get really, really, really tense, and you don't know what's about to happen. Like this whole time, the mafia families are going to war with each other. Different people are dying. People are being pitted against each other, and enemies are becoming friends. Friends are becoming enemies, and you don't know what's going on. You just want the people that you've known to stay alive, and then there's just Angelo who just comes in, and then you realize that he's not part of any of their sides. He's just by himself. He just wants to get his revenge, and he's like a wild card, and you have no idea what he's gonna do, and that really just makes every scene and episode more exciting. Overall, though, the story is beautiful. It starts off as a simple thing, but then it just becomes complex, and the art and the music just add to that, and they're done perfectly. And the characters all have human emotions, and all their actions and thoughts make you want to root for them. But in the end, the story reminds you that you have no idea what's going on. Anything can happen in this time. It's got action, it's got comedy, it's got a good revenge plot, amazing characters, and art and music are both beautiful. And I think even if you don't like it, I think you should at least give the first 4 episodes a try. And then if you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you like it, I definitely recommend that you keep going, because this one's an amazing show.